Alright.
Alright guys, so we're going to look at some properties of a parallelogram. Here's it, A, B, C, D. Now, the way we know this is a parallelogram because both sides must be parallel. So the side AB must be parallel to the side CD, and the side AD must be parallel to the side BC. Okay, so the opposite pairs are parallel. So this comes from the first property of a parallelogram. So we write down both sides, or both pair of sides are parallel. Okay. All right, number two. So number two, the second one tells you about the sides a little bit, but it includes how are the sides related. Okay, so the second one says both pairs of opposite side are congruent. Now we know that congruent means equal. So let's draw a parallelogram. We have A, B, C, and D. This is parallel to this. This side is parallel to this side. Now both pairs are congruent. That tells you that side AB is congruent to the side DC. Side AD is congruent to the side BC. That's it. The second one again tells both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. Alright, moving to the third property. Third one talks about the angles. It says both pair of opposite angles are congruent. So it says that both pairs of opposite angles are same or equal. So let's draw a parallelogram. Again, we have A, B, C, D. This is parallel to this. This side is parallel to this side. Now the opposite angles are, let's use a different color. This to this. And we have this to this. These are opposite. So it says that the opposite angles are congruent. So we say angle A is congruent to angle C. And we also have angle B is congruent to angle D. This is congruent to this. This is congruent to this. Alright, so the next one, number 4. It talks about the angles. So it says consecutive angles are supplementary. What that means is if we draw a parallelogram, A, B, C, D, this side congruent to this side and parallel, this is parallel to this side. Now it says that you take any consecutive angles, back-to-back angles, the sum is going to be 180. That's what it means to be supplementary. So we can say this to this, this to this. So we can say angle A plus angle B, their sum will be 180. Or we can say angle B and angle C, this sum will also be 180. Or we can say angle D and angle C, sum is 180. Or we can say angle D and angle A, sum is 180. So you choose any pair of consecutive angles, either this be this, or this one and this one, or this one and this one, because they're supplementary. Okay? The last one is a little tricky, and it talks about the diagonals. So I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to get a new paper. Number 5, it says the diagonals bisect each other. Now this word tells you that when the line bisects the intersecting point is the midpoint. Okay? This is what it means to bisecting. So here's a parallelogram. A, B, C, D, parallel sides. This is parallel to this one. Now, here's a diagonal from A to C. And here's the other one from B to D. Now this is the point. This point is the midpoint. This is the midpoint because they are bisecting. So what they tell you that this line segment, let's call it M, will be congruent to this line segment, and this line segment will be congruent to this line segment. So in terms of equation, we can write it down. A to M is congruent to
Michael Arizaga from the 7th grade. Please report to the main office. Michael Arizaga from 7th grade. Please report to 505 main office.
Alright, sorry about that. This side is congruent to this side, CM, and this side, DM, is congruent to this side, BM. This is what it means for this to be the midpoint. That's it. So these are 5 key properties of a parallelogram.